for the Plaistow. I'm the area manager for the Plaistow and the Green Street neighbourhood, and I'll be guiding you through today's assembly. We just want to say hello to some of our colleagues who are joining us online and some participants. So Anna is the facilitator, and we've got people at the top there. If you give us a nice wave, everybody who's joining online. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, Plaistow is a neighbourhood that is technologically advanced. We've got air conditioning in this building. We've got electric doors, but we're actually piloting an AI tool. So that AI tool is about translation. So we've got a table here. Are you all ready, Sadia? Sadia, if you just put your hand up. So Sadia is helping out and facilitating this table, and we're using an AI translation tool. So this is a pilot. So I'm going to try this little joke out, and I'm going to see how it goes. We run a lot of pilots in Plaistow, and there's more pilots in Plaistow than there is at City Airport. Wow, I shall stick to my daytime job because I didn't get a response there at all. Fantastic, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll stick to my day job. So we'll move on swiftly.
Just a quick reminder if anybody wants to log in.
Okay, so anybody who does want to use a translation tool, we've got a QR code and we've got some joining instructions, but we've got colleagues around the table that can help you should you need to use that. Okay. Okay, just the format for today. We're going to do some housekeeping, the standard housekeeping. We're going to introduce you to some councillors, some corporate leads, and working group members. And we're going to be talking today about the priorities for Plaistow. What are the key priorities that affect Plaistow, affect you as residents? Then we'll be discussing some projects or ideas that you may have, and then we will go through some next steps. Okay, so some housekeeping. So when you came through the registration, you were asked if you were happy to have your photo taken. So anybody who does not wish to have their photo taken, you should be having a lanyard. So we've got a photographer here today, Sylvie. So please do, if you do not wish to have your photograph taken, please make sure that your lanyard or you let the photographer know. It's a hybrid meeting, so the cameras will be on, but if you wish to turn your cameras off, that's absolutely fine. We've got a BSL interpreter today, so if anybody needs some support, we've got Dawn here, and please do let us know. Okay. I would like to introduce you also to the room facilitators and the experts around the room. So staff members, if you could just raise your hands. Okay, so these are all the staff members. Just go around quickly and just shout out your names. Great, so these are your staff team today. We've also got some experts around the room. So these are individuals where you've got particular questions. I know we've got quite some experts from our public health team. So if you could just let us know who you are. John? Adam? And so Aisha and the gentleman at the back? And our gentleman at the back, yeah. So I didn't quite catch your name, so I couldn't hear it from there. Thank you. Okay, so these are your room teams. We don't expect any fire alarms. So if a fire alarm does go off, staff members will direct you to the meeting point, which is across the road. Okay, so the fire exits are, if it's nearest to you, out the back through the doors, or out the front here through the doors. We've got some people waiting here. Would you like to come in and take a seat? If you find yourself a table or some seats, Okay, just mentioned about photography. The council are taking lots of photographs for social media. Part of our compliance is that we need to let you know, we need to get written consent. So again, just reiterating the point about photography. Okay, so People Power Places. So who has been to a People Power Places program before? Who's been involved in some shape or form? You just raise your hands if you can. I know there's a lot more than that. I know this table here where Mariam is, you've all been involved, and you guys as well. Okay? How many of you are new members to the People Power Places program? I know there's lots of new faces. Lots of new faces? Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So, you're part of one of the largest participatory budgeting programs in the country. £1.6 million has been allocated to Newham as a local authority. £200,000 has been allocated to each neighbourhood, and there's 8 neighbourhoods in the borough. Where does this money come from? It's a company called NCIL, which is Neighbourhood Infrastructure, Community Infrastructure Levy, which means that where developers come into the borough, there's a charge put on them, and that charge is there to benefit the developments within your local community. So that's where the money comes from. Since we've been around, this is the 4th cycle, so we've been around since 2018, and we've delivered residents have delivered over 300 projects. And just in our last cycle, 114 projects were delivered, reaching over 50,000 residents. So I mentioned this earlier. People who can apply are volunteer, community and faith sectors, resident groups, and young people, if they're a constituted group. So this is the borough. Who is from Plaistow North? Yep. Plaistow South? And Plaistow West and Canning Town East. Okay, so we just got a couple here. If you have a look here, there's this lovely map behind Mohammed and Councillor Charlene and Dilwar. There's a lovely map here. So please do, in the breakout sessions, come and have a look at all the projects that have been delivered since 2021. And there's hundreds of projects here, and you can see how they've been mapped out. And it's amazing over the years what has been achieved. And there's lots of legacy and sustainable projects that are still currently being delivered. Okay, so this year, the cycle is a 5-step process. So you're here on the first cycle. I don't know if you just press the button again. There we go. So you're here today to identify and choose your local priorities. Then from July through to September, we'll be receiving applications from around the neighbourhoods. And then we'll come back in November and you'll vote for the projects that are most important to you as individuals. Then projects will start from next year, and then we'll have a celebration event. So it's a 5-step simple process. We've been listening to residents, we've been listening to previous projects, and we've done something through our evaluation process, and we've changed and we've co-produced the way we're delivering the project this year. So we've actually ring-fenced the funding, which is around £200,000. 25% will go to resident-led projects, 25% will go to youth-led projects, and 50% will go to volunteer, community and faith sector projects. And that is up to £20,000, £10,000 for youth projects and £5,000 for resident-led projects. If there's any particular questions you have, we're going to go into breakout rooms and you can talk to your facilitators about that. Okay, and part of what we've been doing is we're looking at community leadership. We're looking at how we can capitalize and support residents, community groups that have delivered projects in the past. So we've created something called an alumni network. And that alumni network is about capturing the skills and experience from previous past project leads who can be sharing some of that information with new project leads that are coming forward. So we're trying to use that skills and experiences that has been available. We've also listened to feedback, and this year we've created something called a youth advisory board. So this youth advisory board is focusing on the needs of young people. Every project, everything that we do, does it have a young person's thought when we're putting these things together? And we've been, over the last few months, there's about 100 applicants, and we've recruited 15 of these young people on our youth advisory board. So that's a big change from last year. We've also, who's applied for a PPP project before? Yeah. So those who've been successful in the People Power Places program can only apply for the projects, be successful in delivering the projects only 3 times. So if you've delivered 3 projects since we started, unfortunately, you won't be able to apply this time. But I know just looking around the room, there hasn't been projects that have delivered more than two times. Okay, really important when I asked you earlier about where do you live in the neighbourhood. We've got your locally elected councillors, very important individuals who actually support this programme. They're ambassadors of the programme. So I'm going to ask if there's any councillors here today, if you'd like to come up and say a few words. So we've got 3 councillors here. Oh, they're all hiding around the corner. All right. Okay, so I'm going to ask the councillors if you could just maybe go around there. So Councillor Jane Lofthouse. Councillor Joy Laguda, MBE. Councillor Sophie Naqvi. And we've got Councillor Zulfikar Ali just coming through. And as Councillor, you're coming through, you're going to take the mic off me. And you're going to speak to your audience. Last in, first in.
You are the one to speak.
Right, good evening, everyone. I'm Councillor Zulfikar Ali, your Plaistow North Councillor, and we've got 3 wonderful councillors here as well. They'll introduce themselves. And first of all, what a lovely gathering here, and I'm so impressed. It really shows the strength of the program that we have been developing over the last 2-3 years. And I think your contribution has been immensely grateful. I mean, you can see the projects that you're coming forward, you're voting on in a democratic process to make sure that you're selecting the right project which meet the local needs. And the council is committed to make sure that we involve you, engage you as much as we can. 1.6 million pounds has been devoted for last couple of years in neighborhoods, 8 neighborhoods. There's one, you've got 200,000 pounds per neighborhood, which is being used in order to fulfill your desires, things that you want to do, whether you want to improve your environment, you want to put forward projects in health, put forward projects which are close to your heart, your community. I think above all, this is bringing us all together. If you look around here, this is an amazing audience, frankly, and it shows that people in this ward and this borough are united. We really value the diversity that we have in this borough, and that is our strength. And I think together we can make a real difference, make this borough a place where you want to live, stay, and work, and be proud of. And I think that is the most fundamental thing about this whole project, because it brings people together. You decide on the projects that you want to push through. And I'm really grateful to staff here, Saeed and his team, and indeed all the ward councillors here who have been contributing towards making this work. Because I think, by working together, we can make it a success. And I'm really grateful to see you all here today. And I hope that we can move forward with this year's program as constructively as we did in the past. Because clearly, your ideas, your thoughtful, your vision is something that makes this borough. And we want to make sure that we integrate your thinking, we listen to you, we do what you say, and we deliver. And that is the purpose of the council. And this is what we're making it a better place and making a real difference to this borough. So thank you very much once again for coming here. Enjoy your evening. What a wonderful audience. Thank you.
Councillor Sophie Naqvi, I want to say one thing. Hats off to Plaistow. Amazing. Everyone together. I mean, first of all, I would say 3 of us been 3 together, 2 us from Plaistow North. So well done, everyone. It's nice to see that everyone is here working together from different backgrounds, and everyone have the community in their hearts. Let's work together. Let's bring all these projects up and running, and let's hope, work together, make everyone happy, and get best for the community. Thank you.
I'm Councillor Joy Laguda. I think most of the people know me in this Plaistow. I've been here too long. Thank you very much for coming to this PPP or participatory. Participatory, whatever, 1.6 million. I wish I had 1.6 million. I'll be standing here. Anyway, we look forward to seeing your projects for the 200,000 we get for our neighborhood. So hopefully we'll get some very good ideas that we can make a difference in our Plaistow. We want to make a difference in Plaistow, don't we? Yes, we want to make a difference in Plaistow, and we are making a difference in Plaistow. I mean, over the years, we've seen a lot of progress, and we need to see more progress and people participating in things like what we are going to do here today. Thank you. We are looking forward to seeing what you have put forward so that we can all judge who is the best. Doesn't mean to say you shouldn't put in because you don't think you are going to be the best. You have to participate to be able to be recognized. So we recognize most of the people that have participated in getting their groups or projects done. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Councillor Jane Lofthouse, Plaistow South. You may not all know me, but I must know at least half of you here. I'm really looking forward to this. You all said you're excited. I'm excited too, and really looking forward to being part of the ideas factory that's going to come out of this. I'd just like to say, greetings from my fellow councillors who can't come tonight. And I know that Dina Hussein from Plaistow, East Canning Town, West it's the other way around actually. No, whichever way around it is. The Plaistow Canning Town one. I know she's coming later, so greetings from her too. This should be really wonderful. I've been part of the working group since it started, and it's really been enlightening and enriched the ward tremendously. So thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much, councillors. And I've got to say, from the beginning of the programme, you've always been very supportive. So, brilliant. Thank you very much. Just want to make sure, before you go, I just want to make sure if there's any councillors online. Is anybody on, any councillors online? No? Okay. So can we give our councillors a quick round of applause while they find their way back to their seats? Okay, so part of the whole governance process of People Power Places, we have an SLT member, which is, a corporate lead member who sits at the very top of the organisation. So we have got the corporate leader member, who is Sean McDermott, who is the Acting Corporate Director for Environment and Sustainable Travel. It's quite a mouthful. So Sean wants to hear about the successes of the project, how they're going, but also if there are any kind of issues or concerns that we need some help to unblock, we would go to someone like Sean to actually help us unblock some of those challenges. So Sean, if you'd like to say a few words, if that's okay.
Thanks, everyone. I bet everyone's thinking how old I am now with that picture. So I'm a little bit older than I look. Just wanted to say a really big thank you for turning up tonight. Some of the faces I think I've seen at our neighbourhood forums in Plaistow before. So again, this is another way we're trying to engage our communities. For me, I'm really excited about this. As Syed said, I'm currently the Acting Corporate Director. I've been doing it for three to 4 weeks now. So please bear with me. But a lot of the services I oversee, public safety, public realm, parks, waste, the transport system, they're all really relevant to the PPP programme and some of the projects you're hoping to deliver and the priorities you're setting. So I'm really excited to see the ideas and the suggestions you come up with, particularly from a community safety background. We often say, and it is the truth, you know your communities better than we do, and the solutions you can come up with and the things that are going to make your community better, I think is fantastic. What I would just say is, it's a real honour to be part of this programme. This is the first time I've actually taken a lead role in this. I've been on the borough for about 14 months, but because of the role I'm doing, I've actually been able to come and participate myself. You know, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the country. It's been running for several years, and it's obviously making a real difference. And the fact that everyone's turned up tonight, I think, is a real testament to the programme. I just want to say one final thing, just a big thank you, because I might not get a chance to Syed, the team, for setting this all up. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this, and also a big thank you for the councillors. So if I could ask for them to clap for them. But I look forward to being the champion for this, the lead. If I can unblock anything, if you do want any advice or support around your project, please come to me and my team. And I'm grateful for being here, so thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Sean. So Sean is going to be floating around different tables, so you know if you've got any problems, he's the man to go and speak to. Sorry about that, Sean. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking in just a minute because we want to hear from you, but we must spend a bit of time welcoming our working group members. So these working group members, over the last 6 months, we've been going around the neighbourhood, asking individuals who would like to support shape the People Power Places program. And these individuals are really, really important because they'll be here with us volunteering for 2 years. That's quite a length of time. So we've got new members and we've got existing members. So I was just wondering if it would be easier to come to the front or just stand up, all the working group members where you are. Yeah, do you want to come to the front? Yeah, fantastic. If you come to the front, that'd be great. So give them a round of applause. These are your working group members. I can see you at the back there, Tony. And where's Hina? Is Hina there? Where's Hina? You're trying to hide, Hina. Yetunde, if you can. Okay, I'm going to put you on, some of you on the spot. So maybe just introduce yourself, and if you'd like to maybe just say a few words about why you wanted to join or why you want to be part of the People Power Places program. I'm going to start off with the first person, and we'll take it down. Is that okay? So I'll put you all on the spot here. Apologies.
Evening, everyone. My name is Axon. I've been a Plaistow resident for the last 15 years. This is my second circle as a People Power Placement member. I just wanted to pay something back to the community, get involved, and just improve local lives. That's why I'm here.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Yetunde Mude. I've been a working group member right from the start. It's been a privilege. I've enjoyed it. I like to be part of my community, to be able to give something back, and encourage, everybody to try and do something for Plaistow to be part of the community. It's very rewarding, although sometimes there's up and down, but at the end of the day, you feel you are doing something for your community. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tamika, and this is my first time being part of the working group. I just honestly want to improve the community and honestly the lives of young people, because as a young people myself, I know how hard life can be. So I just want to make sure I can help other people as well.
Hi, my name is Jabir Salik. I've lived here my whole life. I'm a new member of the PPP group. I've worked with the youth for a number of years now, tutoring, teaching, also coaching when it comes to exercise. So the reason I joined this group was to mainly represent them, because they might be underrepresented or feel like they don't have enough information about what's going on around here. So that's mainly why I joined as well.
Thank you. My name is Hassan Saleh. I grew up in Stratford, but been in Plaistow North for just over 15 years now. I'm a teacher mainly working in Newham and Tower Hamlet schools. I just want to find another way to support my local community outside of school as well.
Hi everyone, my name's Ricky. I've lived in Plaistow all my life. I work on a similar program in Tower Hamlets, but I really wanted to get involved in my community in Newham, and more specifically in Plaistow. So this is why I joined the group.
Ahmed Patel. I've also lived here practically all my life. Went to Southern Road, Lister, grew up here. So again, for me, it was about community. I love all the faith-based things that we do, and that's what brought me to here, just to again understand how we make decisions and then where I can play a part. Thank you.
My name is Beverly Biggs. I'm a Plaistow resident for the past 40 years. I'm a bit jet lagged because I just came back from Jamaica this morning. So that's how wonderful it is that I'm not sleeping, that I'm here to support each and every one of you for the project.
My name's Tony Miley. I've worked in the library for a good 16 years. As for living in the borough all my life, I've got 75 years of it. So changes have been plenty, and it's nice to be able to take the new changes forward by good ideas and good backing. And it's up to you as the public to make sure you keep us on our toes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hina Shah, and I've been living here from 40 years. And I'm also ex-staff of Newham Libraries. And I also run a group of myself also, and I'm involved in the community, and I like to give back to community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Is there anybody online? Just want to make sure any working group members online. Okay.
Don't believe so. I did ask.
We've got so many new working group members, and we've got the experience of a number of existing members. So hopefully you're going to make a really positive impact and change. And the meetings that we've had so far have been really, really positive. So a huge round of applause. Please remember the names and the faces, because these guys, if you'd be delivering projects, will be coming out to visit you when you deliver your project. So thank you very much, working group members. I did forget at the beginning, we've got two very important people at the front who've been registering you all. So we've got Abu and Mary, who've been working diligently behind the scenes. So thank you very much for that. And apologies, I didn't mention your name earlier. Okay, just a couple more slides from me, and then we're going to have some discussions and conversations. So Newham priority. So Newham has a strategy looking at how to build a fairer Newham. There are 8 key priority areas. I'll just mention a couple of those, which is a healthier Newham and aging well, your neighbourhood, a safer neighbourhood, supporting our young people. Lots of young people in the room today. I know we're all very young at heart, but we've got lots of young people, and hopefully we'll get some youth projects put through. And I'm relying all on our working group members, all our younger working group members, to go out and promote that within your own networks. And that's a commitment that you made last time we met. Thank you. Okay, so you've all been voting for your local priorities. So we've got 6 priorities that we're going to be theming around the People Power Places programme. On your desk, there's more information. On your tables, there's more information, but I'm just going to read those 6 out, which is health and well-being, inclusive economy, environment and public spaces, community safety, youth empowerment, and community development and participation. So those are the 6 priority areas which you're going to be voting on today. I'm just going to do a quick check on Sadia, on our AI table. How are we getting on? Good? I just want to make sure we're not steaming ahead and they're not being picked up on. But as I said, we're trialing this out today, so there's going to be lots of teething problems. So hopefully we can work through some of that. Thank you. Okay. Since the 3rd of June, which was the launch of the programme, we've had 140 residents who have voted for their top 3 priorities. So today, it'll be your last chance to vote for the top 3 priorities that impact you as residents here in Plaistow. So if you've already voted, you can't vote again. However, if you haven't voted, this is your opportunity to vote for those priorities. So what you're going to be doing for the next 15 to 20 minutes, you've got table facilitators. Have we got table facilitators on each table? Just raise your hands. I want to make sure that we've got every table covered. Yeah. Okay, we've got 1 table here. Okay, so I think we've got all table covered. So what you're going to do for the next 15 to 20 minutes is talk to your facilitator, talk to your group about those key priorities that are most important to you. Okay? And within about 10 to 15 minutes in, we are then going to spend a bit of time. We've got iPads going around and things like that. So our table facilitators will show you how to vote for those priorities. And we're going to have a big unveiling of what those key priorities will be. Okay? But your table facilitators will be helping and guiding you through that. And we've got our online colleagues as well. So the time is now, it's 6:30. So we will come back 10 to 7, but I will give you a 10 minutes notice where you can start to vote online. Okay? Right, so I'm going to hand it over to your table facilitators. Enjoy your discussions, and we're going to hear back from you after the sessions. Okay, so thank you, and also to our colleagues online. Just want to show you the QR code to vote, but you can talk to your table facilitators who will show you and demonstrate how that works. Okay, enjoy your conversations. We're going to get some, we would like to get some feedback.
Tell the things close.
Okay, we're going to stop the voting now. So if you haven't voted, this is your last opportunity to put your votes through. Okay? Okay, Samuel, we're going to stop the voting. You're not allowed to vote anymore. It's finished. You've had every opportunity. Okay, so we've got a mic going around. So, Tasha, I don't know if you want to make your way in the middle of the room. There was a buzz going around the room today. So what we want to do is share some of that with other participants, other residents around the room. So we're going to start off with a table at the back there. Tasha's got the mic. So who would like to give some feedback?
That happened really quite quickly. Hello. So we managed to go through two areas specifically. One is in terms of priorities, we had youth empowerment as one of the key priority areas, community safety, what's the other one? Health and well-being, and environment. So just in terms of the detail, in terms of youth empowerment as a priority area, so it linked to, there's an element of community safety involved in that, but also, is that better? Oh, there you go. So in terms of the priorities around youth safety, the group was speaking about the need for more youth projects, more youth clubs, more young people involved in community activity. There was a feeling around more involvement with schools and education, and that would lead to more engagement, and mentoring for young people is seen as important, alongside extracurricular activities that the funding would enable to happen. It linked into community safety, as I said earlier, and there's a current issue around the lack of youth provision in Plaistow, specifically as a result of some of the financial challenges that the local authority has. None of the voluntary community and faith sector organisations in the borough are now funded under the Youth Empowerment Service budget. So there are gaps, there are islands without youth provision, and young people moving between youth provision sites is seen as a risk to them. There was a feeling that support for the youth programs would address issues around online risks to children, and that children and young people needed safe activities. And there was also a feeling that youth training is vital to youth empowerment and youth engagement. But fundamentally, the overarching feeling was that all of the priorities are connected. So none of them really stand alone per se, but starting from a youth perspective is the right approach. We then moved on to community safety as a next most voted for priority. And the platform for that was that people don't currently feel safe in Newham at night. Older people don't feel safe, especially at night. There's lived experience of mugging, and there's also the perception of Newham not being safe as well. So the table felt that community safety should be a clear priority. There was a feeling that previous activities around community safety were not necessarily effective, and it felt like it was a tick box exercise. Although because of the interconnectivity of the issues, and there is still a lot of activity going on around community safety, I think it's just about balancing out those activities with the perception. There was a lot of programs and partnership work that happens within Newham to try and have a positive impact on community safety, but it was felt that more needs to be done. Again, issues are connected. So there is a feeling that none of these points are standalone. And we only just touched on environment as the third topic, and fly tipping came up with some champions locally doing a lot of work in that area. and a feeling that around environment, things like improved lighting, improved, removing fly tipping, cleaner areas creates a much safer society and a feeling of community cohesion because it's a cleaner space to engage in. I think that's all we covered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. We only had 5 minutes for this whole section. I think you've taken the whole 5 minutes up. But really important things around community safety and youth empowerment. So can we, anybody else would like to give some feedback on the table? Yep, so we're going to take this table, then we're going to go on online. So Samuel, just ready, we'll go online after this one.
Hi everyone, my name is Abdul Ali. I'm a Newham resident from 2016, and I've got my project which is running a Plaistow Park, a football project which I started myself. It was about 15 players, and now we have like over 40 players. So the reason why we started this is to empower the youth around the area, to get them off the streets, and then we put them in football. So I'm just gonna need your support to help us and push this project further, if you really don't mind.
Okay, so what we're going to do, there is another section, another little section that we're going to talk about particular project ideas. So we'll come back to those individuals who have project ideas. What we wanted to just do is spend a bit of time about what those priorities areas are for Plaistow. So I'm going to go online. I'm going to flip over to online. So we've got Anna. Do we have? Can we have some feedback from our colleagues online, please?
Yes, Matt is presenting for us.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm just going to mute myself because I can hear myself echoing back. Well, we had a conversation. We had a feeling that each of our priorities had no connection to each other, and those priorities were community safety, improvement to environment and public space, and youth empowerment. But our conversation revealed there's actually a lot of what we want overlaps with one another. And for example, the improvement to environments and the improvement to green spaces and blue spaces can enhance a feeling of security amongst neighborhoods. But if we get residents involved and we get the youth involved, we can also empower people to co-produce these environmental projects. I think everything is underpinned by a feeling of vulnerability and insecurity and isolation amongst all our key target groups, and it's that word we kept coming back to, empowerment. That word empowerment that would help improve people's mental health and well-being, and just giving them a stake and giving them a sense of agency to be able to control matters in their space. And I think every priority we had kind of touched upon that, but I think it was that underpinning aspect. You know, ensure we can alleviate isolation, vulnerability through empowerment, through any of our ideas and projects that we do.
Thank you very much for that, Matt. Very in-depth overview of some of the things around parks, empowerment, around health and well-being, young people as well. So thank you very much for that. If there's anything else online, we're going to go over to couple more tables. Are we all good? Thumbs up from you, Anna. Thank you very much. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we're trying out the AI tool. So it wouldn't be fair if we didn't ask this table to give a little bit of feedback on how you're finding it. Hopefully it was all well. So we've got Afu.
It's pretty accurate, to be honest. The only pointers I would have is the timing, because even though I can hear both languages, even I myself, I was confused on what part of the presentation we were on. The thing is that this is Tamil, and there's two different types of Tamils, Indian Tamil and Sri Lankan Tamil. So I would say you need to have those two different, because there are some Sri Lankans don't know Indian Tamil, some Indian Tamils don't know Sri Lankan Tamil. And the thing is that there's like formal traditional Tamil too, and people around my age, like my generation, don't know traditional Tamil that well either. So it is hard to actually understand it fluently. So I would say, even though it's not, expected, I would say informal Tamil is a bit better, so that's more understanding for people who speak informal Tamil every day instead of formal Tamil.
Fantastic. That's really, really useful feedback. And I think we've picked that up previously around different dialects and things like that. How many languages is it again now, Sadia? 18. 80. So with this AI tool, there's 80 languages that are being translated, but obviously within those languages, there are various dialects. So something that we'll be taking back and reviewing. Okay, anything else from this table? Are we all okay? Yep. So you were doing, is it Bengali? Yes. So it's different dialects that we're picking up. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Really useful feedback. Any other feedback you do, please feel free to speak to Sadia and with Dilwar here as well. Brilliant. Thank you. We're going to take one more table and then we're going to do the big grand reveal. And I'm sure you're all really excited about it, aren't you? Wow, that was really enthusiastic. You're really excited about that, aren't you? Oh dear. Right, can we go on this table, please?
Yeah, on this table, also, community safety seemed to be probably the #1 thing. And then the environment with climate change rearing its ugly head, and health and well-being. Probably youth empowerment was about equal to health and well-being, because if we don't provide things for the youth to do, drugs gangs leaders will be finding them things to do. So we've got to get in there first. Yep, that sums it up.
Right, thank you very much for that, John. Okay, so thank you all very much for your contributions and your feedback, really valuable, and we'll be taking a lot of that away, and hopefully you'll be making some notes with the table facilitator, so we'll be taking some of that information away and digesting it. So, Samuel, are we ready for a grand reveal? So, I would like you all to do a countdown from 100 to 0. I'm only kidding. So we're going to give it a countdown from 5 to 1, and then we're going to give the grand reveal to see what the top priorities are for Plaistow. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Okay, big round of applause, everybody. Woo! Okay, so I got this wrong when I was doing it at Green Street the other day, so I'm going to double check with Samuel. So the first priority, oh, he's done it. Oh, look at that. You learn. Okay, so #1 is health and well-being. Clap, please. Excellent. Sean, this one's for you. Community safety. And fantastic, it's the first time we've had youth empowerment as on the register, so well done. That's amazing. So those are the top 3 priorities. So with those top 3 priorities, what we'll need to do is any projects and ideas that come through have to align themselves to one or more of those priorities. Brilliant, thank you. That was actually really exciting. I was really excited, actually. Okay, so this is Franklin. This is where I stopped you because this is a section now we're going to be talking about. Based on those 3 priorities, we want to hear from you any project ideas or initiatives you have that meet some of those priorities. So it's really important that you share those ideas, because there will be, not today, at a later date, people will be voting for your projects. Okay, so are we okay for the next? We're going to spend another 15 minutes and then we're going to come back and we're going to get some feedback. Okay, so online, are we all okay, everybody online? Okay, so we'll be joining back at around 7:25. So back over to the table facilitators. Thank you. Another mic going around. Dilwar, do you mind just grabbing that mic for us? Okay, I rudely interrupted Franklin because he wanted to share some ideas with us. So we're going to get a mic to Franklin. So this section, for the next 5-10 minutes, we're just going to go around the room and hear about some of these project ideas. So Franklin, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me? I'm Franklin, and I'm from the Family Support Network. We've been working in Newham for over 12 years, and we've been doing the Life in the UK and the B1, or people who want to extend their visas or get their citizenship sorted. We have a very, very high pass rate. For example, all our languages, we have 100% pass rate. Nobody's ever failed, because we ensure when people are going for their exam, they're ready. And it's £150 if you fail. Also, we do the Life in the UK, and we also have a very high pass rate. Since 2019, we've only had 3 people that's failed, because we ensure when they're going for their exam, they are ready. Now, I just want to say one thing. Stay off the internet for questions. We had one person that came to us, and she failed 19 times. Okay, £950 down the drain. Okay, so that's my day job. Now, the other idea we have is Back to Work. It's a scheme that we used to run years ago in the charity. And Saeed reminded me the other day, and I thought, oh my God, we have this. And what tends to happen when young people go for a job, they're not prepared. So what we try and do is get people prepared. For example, they have a CV that matches what the organization is looking for. It is correct. And also, the application is grammatically correct. They fill in all the correct information. Equally to that when they're going for the interview, they are coached. They know exactly questions they may get asked. We will ask them questions. Also, what they need to do is to look at the organization. What do they want? Look at them. So when they get asked questions, they're able to kind of answer these questions. We recognize that young people coming out of work or coming from university, are finding it very difficult to kind of get the right job. What we will try and do with them is to look at their particular skill set and try and match that to the kind of jobs that they go after, because the jobs are out there. It's a question of you need to get it right. Spend time looking at the organization, getting your CV together, and being coached over and over and over again. It sounds monotonous, but in the end, you will get there. That's all I want to say. Hopefully that you will vote for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Franklin. Franklin has been supporting the Plaistow and the Green Street community for over 5-6 years, delivering lots of community. 10 years, 12 years. Oh, wow. All right, 12 years. Fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look. Another table, if you could just raise your hand if you've got any project ideas. Okay, we'll come to John, and then we'll go to the back table, and then we're going to go online. So over to John.
Right, I applied last year for a project, didn't get enough votes, but I could try again this year. And what it is for is, I'm going to give you a demonstration, hang on. It's a personal safety alarm. If you think you might be mugged, raped, or whatever else, and you're out and about, you do that, and the person who was going to do something against you hears the alarm going off and thinks, I'll go for an easier target, and they leave you alone. And so it can save you, your wallet being stolen, your phone, or whatever else. And also, having this encourages you to get out and about, because you might want to walk down to the local shop, but you're worried. But if you've got this in your hand, you can go to your local shop rather than driving into a supermarket which has got a car park. So it's good for your health and well-being. You can get out and about. If you want to go and visit people and come back after dark, it gives you a bit more security. And so good for young people, old people, men and women, nobody really. I'm quite big, I'm ex-merchant Navy, but I carry it around with me, and a few times I've got it all ready, just in case, but luckily there was just a gang of lads, and they weren't trying to mug me. But just having it with you gives the confidence to be out and about. So I'm hoping to have better luck this time.
Thank you very much for that, John. Some really nice ideas. So we're going to go to the back table. Then after the back table, we're going to go online.
Good evening, everyone. So the discussions we had was firstly around youth empowerment and the projects. We've got a young lady here called Sandra, who's been running DJing workshops in here for the children. So that's something that's been very effective. It's kept kids off the streets and, you know, making them disciplined and remembering to come on time to class. So that's like something I'm hoping you'd carry on to hopefully get the youngsters more involved. And also, whatever projects do run for youth, we also mentioned that they should be involved in the co-production of all these projects. So the build up to it and how they put together, you know, all the processes that you need to get through with them. We also had discussion with Paul, because he represents RAIN, which is a youth institute here as well, based in Plaistow. So he runs multiple projects in terms of mentorship, summer programs, football, so many of these things that youngsters need. So he needs continuation with that. So the support for funding for that is needed. And then we kind of diverted onto environment, which was more linked with, you could say, community safety. A project that was proposed, basically building areas to make it look, you know, more safe and visible in terms of putting benches and whatnot. But then obviously from past experience, some of the residents mentioned that these places tend to not have the desired effect that they should, because they tend to be, you know, open for people to use to show, you know, youth that are involved in crime and whatnot. So there was a kind of back and forth with that. So there was no real conclusion, but we can kind of work on what that needs to go towards. And also there was a mention from a gentleman here that artwork and you know, galleries, to get people involved with their health and well-being, to help them to get involved with artwork and run galleries, so that would help them with that. And lastly, I'll just, because I didn't get to add my part, was the project I did last year was mainly based around men's well-being, but I included photography workshops in that. However, now with the priorities changing, I want to open that up, because it was just aimed towards men's well-being. I want to open it up and make sure that it's aimed at youth as well as everyone in the community, so everyone gets to be involved in this kind of, you know, workshop, and it helps them with their well-being, you know, helps to deal with isolation and loneliness, these kind of things. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. So in addition to the health and well-being, it's also looking at, there's a project called Parent Village, where it looks to promoting community village of parents. I remember during the Warm Haven, I used to be here with other parents of our children, and it was so fruitful to see a group of parents come together. I had no idea who some of them were, but we became very strongly bonded just by sitting here and having a chat. And that was the village we created in this Plaistow library. And this is the amazing, I always tell people, this place is a home. It's my second home, because I just don't come here in my case, but I come and I leave here feeling okay. Just sitting here whilst the children do something, we're able to come together. We even said we could have started like a knitting group. We could have started something, but it created the space where we're able to talk about concerns, our children, ourselves. And this is something that I think we need to promote around the borough as parents. Some people have no one in this country. They have no one. I always lead people to the library, that when you go, you'd find a friend, or make friends in your children's school. So we could promote the village of parents in every school, where there's a lot of issues around parenting. SCND, the awareness is increasing, parents don't know what to do. Could we as families and parents sit together, you know, and say, as I hear you, I see you, understand where you are coming from. This is something that we could do. It's an act of kindness that we can do for one another, where we use our libraries, where we use our community spaces, just to promote the health and well-being. And it's gonna have an impact on our young people, because where parents are okay, their children are also okay. So because we're in a better position to give back to our children. And we kind of understand them where we can, this is what you are good at, and I'm going to chip in and promote that bit about you. So whilst parents are being resilient, we kind of role model that to our children, where they also learn to be resilient, know that life, there's ups and downs. When you fall, we rise up, and it's not the end. Then they can also see something better in the future. So this is my chip in for the health and well-being, where we create a parent village around the schools, in our communities, and also in our libraries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So from this table here at the back there, I see we've got Paul from Rain, we've got Plaistow South Big Local, we've got Sandra, we've got Natalie, we've got lots and lots of great ideas. So we're expecting lots of applications coming through. And also can't forget Shabba as well. Okay, so thank you very much for that. Before we go online, because we've got Councillor McLean who's going to say a few closing remarks, I'm going to ask some feedback from this table. I know somebody wanted to give feedback. Yep.
Hello. I wanted to propose a health and wellbeing project. It's on behalf of a friend of mine who couldn't be here today. But it is a health and wellbeing project involving art therapy and Qigong, because a friend of mine, she teaches Chinese art writing and Qigong as well, and she wanted to combine the two, targeted, I think, primarily for elderly, because meditation and energy movement practices have been shown that they can reduce stress levels, bring down cholesterol levels, and they've got various other medical benefits. So that was the proposal, health and wellbeing for elderly, and it's combining Chinese art calligraphy writing with a Qigong movement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shireen. Some great ideas. Yeah. So we're going to hopefully get some of these ideas put onto applications to be put through. I'm going to now go online to Anna. Can we have some feedback or any ideas that are coming through?
Does anyone who was part of the online conversation want to join, or should I try and summarize?
We kind of just elaborated on what we talked about earlier, emphasizing health and well-being, youth empowerment, and neighborhood safety, and looking at urban regeneration with regards to the environment, improved green spaces, improved blue spaces, more spaces of wild nature, which are proven to make places feel safer, make them more aesthetically pleasing. So improving the health and well-being, and these places are proven to attract less crime. So very, very quick summary of what we were talking about.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. So anything else from online? Looks like Matt is the spokesman for our online. So thank you very much, Matt. That was brilliant. We are now going to ask Councillor McLean to say a few words. I'm just going to flip over. So Councillor McLean was actually here in the assembly a little while ago, and suddenly you just flipped around, and now you're in somewhere else. So Councillor McLean, over to you, who's our cabinet member for resident engagement and participation, and hopefully I get it right, resident experience.
Yep, you're right, Said. I am the cabinet member for resident engagement and resident experience. And yes, indeed, I was in the room. But the beauty of People Power Places is that we are hybrid. So we are accessible to all. So I thought I would take the opportunity, as I am a Plaistow resident and don't live too far from Plaistow Library, to come home and, because it's been a long day, and to do some of the things that I had to do at home. But, this is really important. So I still wanted to be part of it. And it was good to hear the discussions online, because I heard some of the discussions that were happening in the room. So yeah, it was good to see what and to hear what was happening online. So People Power Places, as you said earlier on, Saeed, is one of the biggest participatory budgeting exercises, difficult for me to say, in the whole country. And it's just wonderful. We're going from strength to strength. and the AI technology that we've been using this evening, I tested it out with my rusty French, and it was really great. And it's good that we're more inclusive, and it's definitely something that this Labour administration is really, really championing, that people should be making the decisions about what happens within their areas, seeing what problems there are and trying to resolve them along with their elected representatives and all of the residents in Newham. So next steps, we've heard some of your ideas. And now it's time for you to apply for funding. So there's £200,000 for Plaistow neighbourhood, and applications open on Friday the 18th of July and close on Sunday the 14th of September. So there's plenty of time for you to work up your ideas. I know people go away over the summer, but you know there's an opportunity, a long window there for you to be able to apply for funding. And I know that in the past it's been quite difficult to people to apply sometimes because the process was quite clunky. So we have a new platform called Plinth, which is a lot easier and it's a lot more easily accessible for people to use. But similarly, you can apply by video, you could do audio, or you could just do a bog standard Word document. And I'm really excited to see what people produce and how they present their ideas. I'm sure that Plaistow neighbourhood, being the centre of the borough and a pioneering place, will have some wonderful videos. So please, I'm really looking forward to that. That should be great. But of course, you know, you're never on your own. We will be doing some online support clinics within July for the 3 different areas: VCFS, resident only, and young people led projects. But also your wonderful community neighbourhood team in Plaistow will also be doing their own sessions because, you know, they know the neighbourhood best and they're always there to provide a helping hand. So why should you apply? You should know why you should apply, because you know you've got wonderful ideas and you want to make a difference within your neighborhood. But it's a little bit of money to help you along the way. It's not to sustain your project forever, hence why you can only apply for 3 times. But it's to help you along the way it's a stepping stone. And it's a way for the community to buy into your project and for more people to get involved. And also it's just a really great thing. It's an opportunity to develop your knowledge and skills, you know, project management and budgeting and all sorts of different things that you know you'd probably never thought you'd be doing, but people do it. And it's also an opportunity to grow your network, to get more volunteers on board, and just to spread the word about your ideas and your projects. So as I mentioned earlier on, they are the online support clinics. So they'll all be online, hence why they're online support clinics. So on Tuesday, the 22nd of July, it's for VCFS-led projects. On Thursday, the 24th of July, it's for resident-led projects. And on Wednesday, the 30th of July, it's for the youth-led projects. And then also, Saeed can tell you what time they are. I think they're 5 till 7, but I can't remember the online support clinics because it was missing off that slide, Saeed. But the Plaistow neighbourhood support sessions will be with your senior officer and your area manager, and the days and times are listed on there. You can book an appointment via email, or I'm sure you can just drop in and book a self-time if you don't have access to the internet. But there are lots of computers in the library, so you can do it that way. And I think that's it. So this is the important part. Feedback. We need your feedback. People Power Places is built on people's feedback and what people think about it. And, you know, we've made lots of changes and we're forever listening. This Labour administration is forever listening to people. So scan the QR code and then stuck the link in the chat. Get your feedback in, and I look forward to seeing you in person or maybe hybrid online, who knows, at the next event. Thank you so much.
Thanks. A big round of applause for Councillor Charlene McLean. Thank you very much for that, Councillor. And just to confirm, the online sessions are from 5 through to 7. So we have.
Oh, I remembered. Brilliant.
You're right, Councillor. You've done this a few times. Can't see anybody online. We're just going to flip online, yeah? Okay, so we've come to the end. So just a few, first of all, thank you all for being present here today. Yeah, we've been here since, some of you've been here since 5 o'clock. Crazy, and it's almost 8 o'clock. So thank you, give yourselves a round of applause for being here and sharing your experiences. A few thank yous to the staff members who have been here, table facilitating, Afufu, Mary, Abu, Natasha. Where's Mariam? I didn't mention Mariam earlier. Yeah. Dilwar, obviously, there's Dilwar there. Thank you to all our councillors. Councillor Dina Hussain, who's here. Councillor Jane Lofthouse, Councillor Nakfi, who's at the back there. All our working group members that have been here today. I forgot your team, Sadia. Sadia has been instrumental with Samuel and Anna online and Ricky. So there's a big support network around here. And I apologise if I've forgotten anybody, but a huge thank you to everybody for being here today. There are these drop-in sessions, so please do come to your libraries, your community centres, and come and speak to us. We'll be happy to listen and share our experiences. So everybody online, thank you very much. Can't see anybody online, but we're going to flip over. So everybody online, have a pleasant evening and thank you very much for joining in, and hope you all have a safe journey home. Fill out your application and your evaluation forms before you go. So thank you all. Give yourself all a round of applause. Thanks and good night.